Attention, class is now in session. Let's do our base. Cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Moisturize your skin. Depending on your skin type, you know what moisturizers you use. That's personal. I am normal combination skin. I am more dry during the winter, as with most people. Eye cream for moisture under the eye. Hydrated under eye is very important because we're putting powders and we're putting concealers. While some concealers are hydrating, it's still important to hydrate the under eyes. And eye cream is just great overall. Allow your moisturizer and your eye cream to penetrate the skin before you move on to your primers. All right. If you are oily skin, this might not be the best option, though it can be okay probably in areas where you probably get dry, because some people have oily skin and they do have dry spots in those areas. So this one is just fine to use that. If not, then you get yourself a mattifying primer or one that just works best with your skin. This one is okay with my normal to combination skin. And I'm gonna rub that and I'm going to pat it in. I'm not gonna put it in my nose area because those are the areas that I get oily the most. Boom, let that sit. I love the One Size Secure the Blur primer. It is a blurring primer. I also use it for just a little bit of mattification, if that's a word. I don't know, but I normally put it in my T-zone area. I'm secure when I use it in these areas. You can use a brush or you can use your fingers. My fingers are my first tools, but I'm just going in and I'm patting that in again. I'm just gonna slightly move this around my cheek, my nose, over or on top of my forehead. Let that sit. And then we'll come back. So I'm going to choose to use an LYS foundation. This is the LYS Triple Fix foundation. I think it's good for all skin types. It's not oily. It's one of those natural finish foundations that every skin tone or any skin type can use. I'm going to go in with the one that matches my skin tone. We go in with TN3. I'm a neutral olive. I'm in that category, so knowing your undertone is very important. Take my favorite brushes to use is this brush here from, I believe, Smashbox. It's not extremely dense, but mid dense, but I love the way that it applies foundation. Now for a long lasting foundation application, most people like to apply some setting spray on their face or either on their brush before they go ahead and apply. I, for one, like to apply the Milk Hydro Grip and Set Mist. That's one of my favorite things to use on my brushes before I go ahead and apply my foundation. And I'm going to blend. And I'm using more of a stomping method rather than swiping. And I'm just getting that product everywhere except under my eyes. You don't want too much products under your eye. Sometimes you're gonna get your perfect match, sometimes you won't. Just make sure you do your best in finding your proper undertone and shade match. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and contour/bronze. There's a difference between contour and there's a difference between bronzing. Contours are usually shades and tones that are have a slight grayish undertone, and this is actually, they market it as a contour stick, but I kind of call it a contour stick. If I were to do contour, I think I would go with this shade that is a little bit deeper. I kind of messed it up a bit, and this kind of gives me more of a contoured result rather than the one on top. So you have two options. You can either apply it directly to the skin, or you can use a brush. So I'm gonna find just above the hollow of my cheek, which is right here. I'm going just above that because when I begin to blend, the color is gonna actually come down a bit. So I'm trying to not create that shadow in the areas that I want. Now I have a fluffy face and I have that double chin right here, so, and I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. So I always try to do something to make my face look a little bit smaller than it is for now until my Ozempic come true. And this is optional as well. Everybody doesn't like a nose contour. I do. So in my brush, I think you can see that this brush is a little bit angled. This is the elf brush. It has a dual end, a fluffy end, and an end that has a little bit of a dimension. While I'm blending it, I'm flicking it upward, stomping and flicking upwards. I know some people like to put the bronzer in this area. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I want to make it very simple for a beginner, so you don't have to worry about that dimension that you have to create in this area. Just go ahead and bronze the areas that need be. Now, if you have a narrow face, you may not need to bronze the entire perimeter of your forehead. You just go in the temple area and just go ahead and bronze. Okay. Under the chin area, and I'm going to go ahead and blend. So I'm dragging and blending at the same time, dragging and blending. What it does, it creates an illusion that my face is actually smaller down, so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, and then I'm just gonna go in with the brush and blend this into my brow. Now I'm going to go in again with another shade of the LYS. I started off using this color, which I believe is actually the same color as the foundation. And then I'm going to go in with a lighter shade, and I'm going to use that to further conceal under the eye or brighten. And while I start off blending, I'm just gonna make sure that I keep my chin area blended, not too wide, because I'm not trying to widen my chin. I'm just trying to direct light in this area. So I'm just gonna be careful. I know a lot of times when we do that technique, we always tend to widen the concealer. So if you have a narrow chin, then you will wanna widen it a little bit. But for me, I'm thinking about keeping everything in because I am of a wider face. I'm gonna take a brighter concealer. This one is from LYS Tinted, and I'm just gonna put that in the same area and let that sit for a little bit while I blend the other areas. And I'm starting off with between my brows, and I'm just gonna blend that foundation brush and just blend the areas so that I don't have a line of demarcation between the concealer and my foundation. And then I'm going to go at the edge of this concealer right here. Very little concealer, not too much for me personally right now. And I think this is appropriate and beginner friendly. Don't use too much concealer because it's not gonna be a walk in the park to control as far as blending is concerned. So just use a little bit at a time. And if you need more, you just build up. So I made sure to blend the edges. I need to see what I'm doing. And I'm just gonna slowly blend out the concealer on the nose area. Brighten my inner eye a little bit more. So I'm gonna take that same LYS not LYS, this Lift Tinted Concealer, and just brighten just a little bit more. So these are my products that I'm going to use. This is going to be my brush to blend out the blush, and I'm actually using an e.l.f. one. I can just apply it directly to my skin, or I can put it on from the back of my hand. Now blend this out, and I'm blending it as close to the temple as possible. So I did have some technical issues going on, so I did go ahead and blend the brightening concealer that I had. So I'm just gonna make sure that there's no creasing under my eye, and then I'm going to take a blending brush, very light brush, and I'm gonna take a setting powder, a pressed powder, and I'm gonna take a little bit of that first and set. Doesn't have to be anywhere else but the under eye, just to prepare it for the baking powder. All right, I'm going to take my favorite baking powder, and Huda has some of the best baking powders out there, and a very affordable triangle. You get them in packs of 30, 40 from. I like to use peach pie depending on your skin tone. If there's too much, I can use the back of my hand and take off that excess, just to make sure I have an even distribution. And I go in and I press, and while I'm pressing it here, I'm taking what's left to avoid smile lines, and this works. Make a ball. I'm going to do some bronzing. I'm taking the Juvias bronzing duo, and I'm going to blend these two colors, and I'm going to just finish bronzing my cheek, and I'm flicking the product up, going all around the perimeter of my face. The bronzer, you don't have to be too shy with where you're placing it, as long as it's in the area that you've already bronzed. Yeah. I'm going to take the powder, since I have it here, and I'm just gonna take it very lightly on the brush, and I'm just going to blend. Not going under the eye, just going in the areas where I didn't do any contouring or bronzing, and just sweep that over the edges very lightly. I'm gonna go in with a powder blush, and make sure it's blended nicely, and that is it. And this is very simple. I hope it was simple, but for me it might be simple, but I hope that this step was good enough for you to try it on your own. Let me know what you think about this whole tutorial. Until then, bye bye.